The Democratic presidential nominee and some in the media sharing their ideas about improving the use of force guidelines for police. As the Philadelphia district attorney who has said, quote, policing and prosecution are both systemically racist, says he's personally leading the investigation into the deadly police shooting of Walter Wallace. Let's bring in tonight's panel to talk about all of that. Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall, How Trump is Making Black America Great Again, author Horace Cooper, and founder of the Wounded Blue, retired Las Vegas police lieutenant Randy Sutton. Good to have you all back with us.
Hi, Shannon.
Good to be here.
Okay, full disclosure, I've talked about it on the show before. My late father is a former law enforcement officer. So, Randy, I want to start with you. What about this idea of just shoot him in the leg?
When I heard the ignorance of that statement coming from the man who wants to be the president of the United States, I would like to say I was shocked, but unfortunately I truly wasn't. If he had just taken 10 minutes and talked to any police officer, let alone a police trainer, he would have found that police don't shoot to kill. Stop. And for him to make the outrageous claim that that's what officers do, all that does is create more and more divisiveness. It divides the police from the community, and it really shows an incredible lack of information and true ignorance.
So The Atlantic says this about police training. Before a threat is fully realized, to not wait until the last minute, because the last minute may be too late. Officers are taught that the risk of mistakes are less, far less than the risk of hesitation. And they do talk in the article about, listen, chance, Leslie.
We've seen children die as a result of this with toy guns or something that what Joe Biden, the Democratic nominee and former vice president, was specifically referring to, and the unrest that has most recently come in the streets of Philadelphia, was in response to a man named Mr. Wallace, who has a mental illness, who has medication, whose family specifically requested an ambulance, not police, and he had a knife. And he was responding to that like, if somebody is mentally ill, this is one of the reasons people say we need medical professionals to perhaps ride alongside of police or deal with some of these individuals instead. And this is why a lot of people in the African-American community, not just after this, after George Floyd and others, are saying they're fearful to call the police when they need help. So I don't think that the former vice president was being ignorant. I think there are many people that want to be safer, but we're just seeing headline and headline about people killed at the hands of the police. We know this is not the majority. Like Senator Harris said, bad cops make good cops look bad, but maybe something else can be done. Why not look into that as a part of training, perhaps, going forward?
Well, and you can watch much of the video of this incident is online, and you can see there's a point where this man is walking, it appears, towards the officers with the knife. They are backing up. We don't see the rest of it. The video either cuts off or does not show us the rest of exactly what happens. But Horace, what about Leslie's contention there that there are a lot of African Americans who don't want to call police? They're afraid of how it may play out.
That's not what Black Americans are saying. Black Americans have been saying consistently throughout this summer at a fever pitch level, we want more law enforcement, not less. Here's the truth. This idea, this concept that the former vice president presented isn't just ludicrous, it is dangerous. My brother just retired as a corrections officer working on death row in 20 population and nearly of law enforcement in America. That disproportionate level of commitment is mocked by the people who would say to them, put your life on the line, go out here when the mother of the child of this man who was just killed and the mother of his own mother asked for restraining orders against this individual. The law enforcement records of these individuals are very, very critical. And what we're seeing in too many communities when people talk about injure them is let's let them continue abusing the households and the families where they reside. That's not something my brother, my cousin, or thousands of other blacks in law enforcement are willing to sit idly by and allow.
Well, and we thank all of our men and women in uniform and law enforcement in many different capacities who are out there, because it has got to be one of the hardest jobs there is right now and always, and as they try to make inroads and have relationships with their communities as well. Horace, Leslie, and Randy, thank you all.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.